I'm Josiah Rizzo.
I'm Benji Jones.
And on Wednesdays, we wear pink. What should our opening question be?
Is this going to be a 15-minute episode today, Josiah?
Probably
not.
Like 30. I don't know. It depends on how long I talk. You know me.
Let's see. Okay, so what's the most recent fad that you remember? Obviously, it's going to be the one that we're about to talk about.
Before that?
What's your favorite fad that you remember participating in?
The one I have the best memory of, I'm going to save for a question later. So I'm going to go, the most fun I had participating was probably either Harlem Shake or Gangnam Style.
That's funny. I was actually thinking the Harlem Shake, even though I never actually did it.
You didn't?
No. I always intend to do fads, but then I actually don't do them.
Too lazy to do them?
Yeah, because my thing, I'm always I have to do it better than everyone. And if I don't, then I'm then I won't do it.
I didn't realize you had that kind of sense of perfectionism.
Sort of, because it's
that's the thing that cripples you from actually doing stuff.
Yeah, no, of course, because when I think of this amazing grand thing that I could do to top everyone, I'm well, that's impossible, and then I go to bed. So
wow,
it's not a thing.
I've actually that's been kind of the basis for a lot of the issues in my life. Is just I have so many great ideas, but I want to follow them through to the most grandest.
Most spectacular outcome.
Yeah, and when that becomes understandably exhausting, I go, and I check out. Which is why, I never even got into, stupidly enough, never got into Vine. Because it was the pressure of, what 6 seconds am I going to do?
Yeah.
Did none.
I did. I think I had 4 or 5 Vines on Vine when I joined.
Yeah, I think I had 3.
Yeah.
It was sad.
Anyways, I'm always late for stuff. I was
Same.
the last person to join Instagram.
Have you ever been early for something? Have you ever?
Are you asking me because I'm black?
No, no. That was a sexual joke.
Have I ever been ahead of the curve? I always arrive early. Anyways,
this is a family friendly podcast, guys.
Early, I know it was kind of a fad. It got popular. I said this already in the nostalgia episode, but the Little Einsteins theme song.
Right, I remember that.
I will always claim, because it's absolutely true, that I was first to that. I was absolutely the first one on that flagship.
Right.
And I made it popular, honestly. I went to a very trend-setting high school, and every day I would blast that song out of my car, and just saying, somebody probably heard it and said, hey, that's kind of good, and then it got popular, and then it got remixed, and then it was super popular. So,
wow. Maybe you were the first one to do it.
Hashtag trendsetter.
Hashtag that. Before we continue, just want to welcome you guys back. I'm Josiah Rizzo.
I'm Benji Jones.
And on Wednesdays, we wear pink. And this is a pop culture podcast where we talk about film, media,
and everything else.
You
and
knew
how
damn well what we were doing.
I didn't know where you were going to stop, actually.
Oh, my God. I thought, I was just you're just doing this to me on purpose now.
Everything else and how it affects us. And,
shapes our...
Shapes
You'd
ourselves.
think after all these episodes we'd have it memorized by now, but
it's fine.
We're doing a thing now where my computer's not in front of us.
Yeah,
so.
Today we're actually not doing film, or I guess it could fall under media.
This falls under pop culture.
We're
for
just
sure.
going to talk about a few trends. I mean, starting with mainly the one that's big right now.
FaceApp.
The
old people app.
We'll trickle into other things.
You damn old people, get off my Facebook.
Get off my Facebook. It's so funny because it's so good. Because there was an old, there was one that was an old filter a while ago that people kind of did, but it wasn't that good.
Right.
And then this one is so crazy because it takes me a second to realize I'm that old person looks so familiar. And then I'm oh, it's my best friend. Or oh, it's James Charles. Or oh, that's I don't even know. It's celebrities. Everybody's doing it, so you have to do it. If you haven't done FaceApp.
I've seen some pretty good ones where I take a picture of an old actor or an actor when they were younger and then do the FaceApp to them, and it actually resembles what they look like now.
Wow,
yeah.
Really? So now I know what I look like when I'm older. I'm not. Actually,
I think that's just a poor photo.
Gonna get a lot of work done.
Well, we all still end up looking good because it can do whatever it wants to our face, but our bodies are still toy.
Yup.
So it's just like, look at that sexy old man with his toy body. And my mom hates this app, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, every time someone comments or posts one, she's like, enough with the old, you are new in the Christ. And I can't remember the scripture she uses, but yeah, she definitely uses some scripture about being new. Your youth is renewed like the eagles. There it is. Youth is renewed like the eagles. I was like, all right, Mom. I was like, I'm not scared.
Nobody is saying that we're actually old.
By the way, I do need to give my mom more shout outs because I basically gushed over my dad in the Pixar episode. So I just want to let you know, Mom, I love you.
Did she like say like, hey?
Not in so many words.
Oh. I'm pretty sure I've gushed over my mom a few times, but I will.
No, you have.
I will right now because obviously you just did it. So
why'd you have to outdo me?
I'm not. Well, I'm just
Mom,
saying,
I love
like,
you more.
I just can't. I'm just not gonna let you say I love you, Mom, and then I'm not gonna say anything. And then my mom's gonna be like, "Excuse me."
I love you, Mom.
Excuse
Benji.
me?
No, I'm heartless.
I don't love anything.
Excuse me. So let's. But I have a question for you before we get into the FaceApp. What is the worst app or worst fad that you've ever partaken in, or the one you're most ashamed of?
I'm not really ashamed of anything that I do.
You disgust me.
I mean, like, why do it if you're gonna be ashamed of it, or
'Cause you
why,
grow up,
or
hopefully?
why be ashamed of it if you're gonna do it? You know.
Well, the goal is to do things at one point in your life and then get older and realize,
Well, see, the thing is I look back on things like that and I don't think, oh gosh, I can't believe I did that. I just think like that was my choice for that time and that was appropriate for then, and now it's not. Now it's not something I would do.
this makes you a boring host.
I'm not boring.
I was asking you a question so you could bring the audience into the world. It didn't actually have to be the most ashamed thing, but you're just like, I don't get ashamed.
I'm
Next
saying.
question.
It's not boring. What about you? What was yours?
So you remember how I worked? You remember this, but the audience doesn't know this. I worked at Six Flags. Yes,
and he was a worker.
I was one of the characters. No, I can say it because
characters.
I don't work there anymore. So what are they going to do? Sue me? They probably could.
Maybe,
but
yeah.
If they watch this episode and they sued me, no press is bad press. So.
I mean, right?
I used to be a character worker, I used to be best friends with Robin and Bugs Bunny at
And
Six Flags.
the Flash.
And the Flash at Six Flags over Texas. This was in 2013 till 2000 and I think 15. Yeah, 14, 15. So I worked those 3 years, and I was at Six Flags, and I was one of the, I was like probably one of the older people working there because for a lot of people that's like their first job out of high school. But
they didn't hire me, by the way.
Oh God,
I wanted to be Tweety like really bad, and they like didn't hire me. So whatever.
They just didn't know how good you were.
Their loss.
But rewind back to 2011,
And I had work experience. And I was an actor, and I'm very personable. So you know what? You're lost, Six Flags, okay?
Are you done?
Yeah.
That seemed very personal.
I don't need them, okay?
Okay.
I don't need anybody.
All right. So may I continue with my story?
Go ahead.
Okay.
And let me Anyways.
So rewinding back to 2011, though, when I was a young dipshit.
Senior year.
And I was planking on the Batmobile at Six Flags.
What, as
like
a character?
jackass. No, as a dumbass person in Six Flags.
Okay.
And then in 2013, I'm the one going, whatever fad was going on.
Idiot kids.
I can't remember what was happening in 2013, but whatever was going on then, I remember there was like, because when you work in costume, anybody who's ever worked in any type of like entertainment where you're basically like working for crowds, you'll hear the same things over. I mean, pretty much anybody, right?
Yeah.
What's the thing you always heard at Quick Trip?
Any like restaurant or customer service, people just say the same things and they think it's so funny. Like when something doesn't ring up, like, oh, I guess it's free. Like, I guess you can just get the hell out of here. But like, yeah, I just remember my mom said that once and I was like, don't ever say that again. And the guy at the register just like laughed. I was like, why not? And I was like, everyone says it. It's so annoying.
It's so annoying. But when you're at Six Flags, then you have like people, whatever is the craze, they'll be doing it. So of course, It's just like looking back, having been a worker at Six Flags, and then like I remember someone was doing something. It wasn't as bad as planking, but it was just as obtrusive. And the other guys were like, "What an idiot!" Oh, and I was like, "Yeah, what an asshole."
Idiot. That just makes me think of my job that I had in West Hollywood, where it was like right down the street from like all the bars and clubs, and I was there like closing super late at night, and so all the super drunk people would come in, and like it was a pizza place, and they would like order their pizza, and they were just all like loud and sloppy, and like all the other workers were just like, "Oh gosh, they're the worst," like, "Oh, I'm so glad I'm not drunk right now," blah blah blah. And I was like, I want their life. I shouldn't be working. I should be out drinking with my friends. It should be me.
Was it during anything special? Like, was it like
no, that was
holiday drinking?
No, that was the job where since it was West Hollywood, they were like, there are certain days that are crazy that you're not allowed to call out, and one of them was Halloween. And I was like, so I'll be quitting in about 4 months, and I did.
Worth it.
Anyways,
so on to FaceApp.
What's
the deal?
What's the deal
What's
with FaceApp?
the deal with FaceApp?
So I obviously, as of any trend, it just kind of came out of nowhere, and all of a sudden, everybody's just
Didn't come out of nowhere. It was those damn Stranger Things Russians, which is a reference that you don't get, Benji, because you haven't watched season 3 yet.
I've watched some of it with you. I watched Stranger Things, Josiah.
Is that you making fun of me watching Game of Thrones?
Yes, that's me making
know
fun
what
of
the
you.
difference
Do you
is?
understand well, I've actually
I don't
seen...
give a crap.
Anyways, no, yeah. Wait, so is it actually like inspired by Stranger Things or something, or no?
No, I was just saying it just happenstance. Everyone right now is thinking that this FaceApp is like, some covert Russian operation to steal our information.
Okay, but also
Did
like...
I just make everything rhyme? Covert Russian operation to steal our information.
That did rhyme.
Dun.
Bam! Yeah, so that's why I was thinking. I was like... Because I know that's why when I saw that there was controversy around it, I was like, we should probably talk about that. Just because, like, not only is it just this fun little, like, cultural obsession right now, it's also now it's
Why do you think it's a cultural obsession?
I guess it's the closest thing we have to time travel.
I don't know if you were joking, but I legit kind of agree with you.
Yeah, like, well, I was saying it, and then it reminded me of a line from something that I can't think of right now. What it is, but when they were like, it's the closest thing we have to magic. I think they're talking about love. It's some cheesy something. It's like Enchanted or like something like that.
It is funny though, because like,
but
at the touch of a button, I can see how any of my friends will look old.
I feel like like everybody else is like obsessed with like all of their pictures, like changing all their pictures to old, and you've done you, and then you did like us, and then you did Justice, and then you're just like going around and making everyone else old.
I just don't post it because I'm not a cruel bastard.
Yeah, 'cause it's not. But I just think it's funny because like
I did one of my sister old, and she looked
gnarly.
She looked
I
gnarly.
haven't seen it. I want to see it.
I sent it to Grace, and she went, "Oh no, oh no!"
I will have all of the work done. Me and her both. We're gonna like share the same doctor.
You've talked about that.
Yeah,
There's this one of us. Look at those two.
Oh my god, she looks good.
What about this one?
Amazing. Oh gosh.
For those of you watching, I'll see if my sister will allow me to share it, but no hopes, because I wouldn't share it.
If not, cut this part out because it would be completely pointless.
No, I want you guys to sit and think at how fun it is to make your family members look old.
Yeah.
Or older.
So I wasn't going to do it at all because I have no desire to see myself old. So I was like, oh, this is a fun app. I'll watch everybody make themselves old. And then one day in like 100 years, when I'm old, it won't matter. But like
Logic, sound.
But then my best friend Gabby, one of my best friends, sent me a picture.
That hurts.
That hurt. One of my many, many really best close friends sent me a picture of us with me old, and I was.
Did she really?
Like, she did. She sent I posted it on my story.
Hold on. Okay.
It was. Talking. It's not on my story now.
Damn it.
This was days ago. I'll pull it up later. But yeah. So I was like, oh no, and she was like laughing, and then she was like, I know that you would never do this yourself, so I figured I'd just go ahead and do it for you.
Wow, she knows you too
she
well.
She knows me so
You know what's funny is
well.
I kind of got the same feeling. I did mine, and I was like, oh man, I look like an old turtle. And then I went to do yours, and I just went, it's not an explicit thing that I'm hearing in the back of my head, but it's just kind of like an inkling that goes, No.
He doesn't want this.
And so you know what I did with that? I listened to it and I didn't post that picture. Just kidding. I posted that shit.
I was like, no, you absolutely said that you posted it before you even showed me.
Yep.
Like I didn't even see it until you were like, oh, look what I did. It's funny. This is the comment I put on like when I posted it. And I was like, excuse me? You did what now?
Excuse me? You know what's interesting? I'm actually thinking back. That photo of my sister that I just showed you, not the one of the two of us, but the one with just her, was a photo before I'd ever made her look old, and that I had taken of her anyway and posted it. She hated that one too.
Yeah.
So
you're like double hate.
So apparently I just have a thing about posting pictures at other people. You know, I don't understand what people don't like about having candid, ugly photos of them posted. They just need to get over
internet
it.
For everyone to see forever.
Forever. So that brings up a point, though. It's really funny watching people, like, get on a high horse and say, like, this, you're giving Russians your information and you know, all this. I'm just like...
That's the point that I was going to make.
Is that a point you're going to make? I want to hear it from you, Benji, because you get passionate.
I wasn't going to get... I'm not going to get super passionate, but I was just going to say, like... People are like, oh, like the Russians are getting this FaceApp so that they can like steal our faces. And it's like, bitch, you have an Instagram profile with hundreds, if not thousands of pictures of your face, your body, your house, your friends, your dog, like everything that you could possibly show about your life. Like if the Russians wanted to steal your information, all they have to do is go to your Facebook, your Instagram, whatever, and just take their pick.
Right.
I mean, like, it's got nothing to do with your face. Like, why would you go through the trouble of making a face app if you just want people's faces? Because it's everywhere.
I don't know. It's Russians, man. Not like real Russians,
Hashtag
but like
Russians be crazy.
just bad guy Russians from films.
Yeah.
They're always like, we're not just gonna be bad. We're gonna be extra bad. if you'd
gonna wear black.
If you'd watched Stranger Things 3, it literally is hinged upon they like build a Russian lab underneath a mall so that they can kind of break into the the upside down. And I was just like,
okay,
that's
all right, Russia.
Kind of, you know, a lot.
Yeah, so that's frustrating for me. I was doing a little bit of research myself, and
you actually did more research on this one than I did.
I did not. And people think that that actually the what was it, the 10-year challenge with Facebook 2009 to 2019, you know?
I don't remember
where you'd
that.
put a picture of you from 2009 and then 2019.
God, yeah, I forgot about that
They
one.
think that was actually like a an information steal type of thing so that they could kind of like create an algorithm for aging faces and understanding how like this face looks at a specific amount of time later, so that they would have like all these results of like, oh, this is how certain faces age over a 10-year time span from this age to this age. So they thought that was kind of like a thing. And then it got disproven later when Facebook was like, you realize, I don't think Facebook said it, some other blog said it. And they were like, you realize there are a billion pictures of you on there already having aged from 2009 to 2019 or any other 10-year time span. So they don't need to make an app for it.
I don't know. I'm not generally the one who buys into conspiracy theories. I love them. I think they're really fascinating to listen to. Yeah. And it's weird because I'm not the type of person who's also like everything's sunshine and roses and like there's nothing nefarious going on underneath. I don't know. It's kind of like I think life's a little bit simpler, and
yeah,
I think like
the simplest answer is usually the right one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know,
and like it's
but I
funny
could be dead wrong.
Yeah, like it's funny because I'm somewhere in between that. It's like the way that I feel about like ghosts is like I don't super believe in them, but I don't not, you know? And I would just rather
probably how I am about conspiracy theories.
Yeah, the same. I'm like, oh, that's interesting to have in my head, but I'm not gonna like concern myself and freak out
We should
when
do an
it
episode
could
on
possibly
that.
not be true conspiracies.
Yeah,
That's
like
fun.
chemtrails
Ghosts.
and all that.
Ghost blogs are like a thing, or ghost podcasts are like a huge thing.
Yeah, we could do
Ghost
that.
podcasts, murder podcasts, all that. So, big
So,
deal.
but back onto fads.
Reading both reading here it is. Reading those things made me think that I was like, okay, but like low key, Facebook did do a 10-year challenge, and then however many months / year later or whatever, this perfect face aging app comes out. I don't know, guys.
I don't know.
So
why don't we turn this into a conspiracy podcast and say you guys need to back away and vote libertarian and listen to Not the System
and all that.
We're just gonna get angry.
I was like, I can't even like make like a random like thing.
Get me pictures of Spider-Man.
So I have like no idea. But yeah, conspiracies are fun.
What else? I wanted to go through
there are more,
some of the
there are
fads.
more fads. I noted some of the fads that I remember. Obviously, there's FaceApp.
Yeah, but that's like that one. I think this is the one that I got into the most, just because it's so easy to.
I think I've enjoyed watching this one the most. I've enjoyed seeing the results just because they're so good. Like all. Well,
I've never. What are the other like ones that are kind of like this? Not because obviously you have like stuff like Ice Bucket Challenge, but that's more like you have to like actively do stuff
where it's just people posting results. Like any the sex change app, the gender swap.
I did that like once and was just like, I mean, I had done drag before, so I kind of knew what I looked like.
Well, not everybody has won a challenge on RuPaul's Drag Race.
Oh, you know what? It's good that we're 11 episodes in and we've never really mentioned that.
So Josiah was on RuPaul's Drag Race.
Please don't.
And he won a challenge.
I'm just saying it was really funny when they did the gender swap. I was one of the few people that could look and go, yeah, I guess that is what I looked like.
I've seen that before. I'm sorry, but like I don't remember your gender swap thing. But you were not cute as a drag queen.
I was not cute as a drag queen?
No. I feel like as a girl you'd probably be cute.
Oh, I've got an ugly man face. No, I've got a great man face. That becomes an ugly
You just
girl
have
face.
very masculine features that don't transfer well to a
No,
feminine.
I've got just enough masculine features
that they don't.
I'm not very masculine.
Your face works for you, so that's good. Like it.
That sounds like the best backhanded compliment I've ever heard in my life.
It doesn't need to work for anything else.
Hey, Benji. Your face works good for you.
Thanks, bitch. I appreciate that.
Do you remember, though, they had a gender swapping, not the Facebook one, but they had a gender swapping app on...
what's it called?
Snapchat recently.
Snapchat, yeah.
Or Instagram.
Yeah.
And that one actually worked pretty well.
Yeah.
And that was easy.
I feel like the light comes out first. Like it comes out with kind of a one that like is like, oh, haha, that's funny, but it's not that good. And then they'll come out a little while later with the one that's like, wow, and everybody's like doing that.
I'm going to spare her name because I don't know how she would take this, but me and my friends were standing around in a circle, and one of them involuntarily said he held the phone up to me, and was like, quick, pose for the face swapping thing. So I kind of did a little thing where I had my hand on my chest, and I was just like kind of giving some eyes to the camera. He takes the picture, obviously does the change, and I looked just like one of our female friends.
Really?
So much so that it wasn't like, oh, who do you look like? He just instantly went, oh, you look like, and then said her name. And I looked, I was like, no,
who is it?
I'm not going to tell you.
You can cut it out.
No, you don't even know who it is. You've never met her.
I just want to name.
Oh, actually, no, you might have met her at one of the parties I've taken you to.
Yeah.
You wouldn't remember her name.
Oh,
the point is, there was a human being out there that I looked just like, and it was like, oh, either she'd be flattered.
No.
Yeah.
I look like a boy in girl
but
skin.
Not a cute version of it, because it was not a flattering picture. It was not the best picture, and yet I still looked like this friend of ours, and I was just like, oh, I'm sorry, honey.
Oh, sweetie.
I'm so sorry.
So yeah, there was that. Obviously, there's face swap, which is still a thing. It's just always a thing.
Oh, that was kind of fun.
And then
wait, there was face swap. How did you do that again?
On Snapchat.
Right.
And
I feel like there was something similar to that where you could take... Oh, there was the one where you could take photos and apply it to your face and then talk with it. So then people were doing like versions of Obama.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure that was still Snapchat, wasn't it?
It was one of the two. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
At a certain point, Snapchat and Instagram were the same thing.
Just the Snapchat face filters are just always going to be iconic. They're going to be iconic forever. But
if she's got doggy ears and a tongue on Tinder, you should swipe.
Swipe right, because that is bae. Right is good. Left is bad. Left is gauche. That
girl's too young for you.
Or
not.
Maybe.
That guy. Or girl. I don't discriminate.
Yeah.
They're too old to be doing puppies. I'm keeping that
Oh,
in.
and then Kim and Kylie switched faces, and everybody lost their minds because they still looked the same. It was great. So planking we covered.
Dude.
I didn't participate. I thought it was so stupid.
Oh,
And
look
it
at me.
was.
I'm Benji. I'm so much smarter than everybody.
I'm sorry. Like that, I'm not, because I do stupid stuff all
Right.
the time. But there are just some things where I'm like, no. Same with Gangnam Style. I still think that's so dumb.
It was so much fun.
I thought the song was dumb. Like, so I was like, why am I going to participate in your challenge? Like,
He's a hater.
I did
Haters
the
gonna
ice
hate.
bucket challenge. That was
That was
fun.
for a reason, though, wasn't it? Or at least it was told that was for a reason.
It was ALS. Because you were supposed to either donate $100 or
They didn't do
or
that.
do the ice bucket challenge, and then you were still supposed to donate what you could. So that was, I think, misconstrued, and people just thought it was ice bucket to raise awareness, and it's like, no, you're supposed to donate, but it still did really well.
Sure.
I participated in that. That was fun.
I was like, no, I'm not doing that. And I felt like an asshole saying that, but no.
We hit the Harlem Shake. That was when I was in college. That was a thing, or when I was going to
I
college.
liked the Harlem Shake.
It's like senior year.
But like
around there.
I liked it for all of 5 minutes, so
So did America.
I did. My sister will be eternally mad. There's a list of things my sister says that she came up with that I stole, that I would vehemently defend that I came up with on my own. This is not one of them. My sister clearly said, oh, we should do a homeschool Harlem Shake. I was like, haha, that's funny. And then I proceeded to do it without her.
Dirty.
I know.
Oh no, that's awful.
I'm a terrible person.
Yeah, that's low.
I'd what about this one? Damn, Daniel, back at it again with the white shoes.
With the white vans.
Damn, Daniel, back at it again with the white vans.
What's funny is Gabby started going, damn, Benji, back at it again with the white friends. I was like, yep, you got me.
You got me.
Or Alex from Target.
Yeah, what was that one again?
He wasn't
I missed
really
that.
a fat. He was just like a cute guy that worked at Target that some girl took a picture of, and then he like blew up and got a modeling contract. It was like stupid. Same with like Hot Convict.
Oh, yeah.
These are less fads and more just like things that the internet was obsessed with for like a hot second.
What else do you have?
So I have fidget spinners.
Oh, yeah, I have that too.
That was a thing.
Yeah, that went real hard.
I worked at 7-Eleven at the time.
Oh, God.
And it was a nightmare.
I bet it was.
It was like the scenes in either Willy Wonka or Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, where like when they would like open the candy store and people were like, rah, rah, rah. Okay, it wasn't that bad.
Really?
It wasn't that bad. But literally everyone was like, do you have fidget spinners? Do you have spinners? Like blah, 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 blah. And it was just so funny watching the arc of how like people slowly started learning and getting better at them. Because like at first it started out like we had like a kind of like off-brand one at first.
Of course you did.
Yeah, because it wasn't like an actual fidget spinner. So we had like spinners and people were like, oh, and they were super happy with them. And we bought like, stupidly, my manager bought one box. And I was like, hey, I don't know if you don't know how popular these are, but this is going to sell out. And like, I mean, I didn't say that because I didn't care. But like, it sold out in a day. Like in like 3 hours, our first box sold out. And I was like, okay. And then we had to wait like 2 weeks for the actual like the next shipment to come in, and he ordered like, you know, a whole case, and I was like, there you go,
I've seen that though happen everywhere, where it's just like it was.
Yeah, but what was funny was by the time we got the second case, the fad had slowed down a little bit. So I was like, you missed that whole 2 weeks of you would have sold through like 5 cases. Now we're barely getting through this one case. We got through the case, but what was funny was that by that time people were like fidget experts. And they'd be like, oh, this is off-brand. This doesn't spin right. Like, do you have another one? And people were like snobby about it. And I was just like, oh, I'm sorry. Does your cheap weird toy not work for you? Get out of my face. So like, but like, and then we'd sell out of that. And then we got like good ones. And then they started making like different ones that like lit up and like all this kind of stuff, because obviously the basic ones were like not selling as much. So they're trying to like interest people, and like people would kind of be interested, but the colored fun ones didn't like spin correctly. So like people, like parents would buy them because they'd be like, oh, my kid will love this. And then the kids would come in and they'd be like, this doesn't spin right. And I was just like, this is so funny. But yeah, it was like a whole thing.
I want a pony. No, I want a golden egg. Whatever.
I want a fidget spinner.
I want a fidget spinner. So My favorite fidget spinner, and I need to go out and buy this one because I love it, is the Captain America fidget spinner. It was just a circle, and you just kind of like, you would have like a little wave to it. Like you'd spin it and just.
But it's like the normal one with like the 3.
No, it's just a circle.
Oh,
and it looks like a mini shield.
Just the shield, but the shield spins.
Yeah,
it sounds boring.
It was stupidly entertaining.
Do you like have it still, or you want to go buy it?
I need to buy it. I'm just saying that was one of my favorites.
Oh, I feel like that's probably doesn't exist anymore.
So
what
we're kind
of
of coming up at the end there.
I do have I had one that I have 2-ish. One just quickly was that little animated short film In a Heartbeat. Did you ever see that?
Oh yeah, the one about the kid who is coming out.
Yeah,
or I don't know if he's coming out.
Yeah,
but he
was just like he had a crush or whatever, and like people were obsessed with doing
that was
like reactions to that.
That was the obsession.
I mean the animation, the thing in general was that, but then like after everybody had kind of seen it, people started doing a lot of reactions to it.
Right,
and it was like a thing.
That was cute.
Yeah, that was a fun one. And then the last one is something that's recent right now that people are talking about a lot. That's so dumb, but I love it.
Okay.
Do you have any more that you're going to talk about?
Yeah, I'm going to end on one.
Okay.
But
the Area 51 thing.
That's amazing.
People are so dumb, but I'm about it. Like, I really want it to happen because
like, what's gonna happen is like the government's like, oh shit, like it's just literally gonna be a guy with a coffee mug walking out for his morning patrol.
At this point, because they should have, if we were gonna do that, we needed to make it a thing like tomorrow. Everybody get it down.
For the government's just like, shit.
But like at this point, we've been talking about it for like weeks, like possibly a month. They've moved everything by now.
But they moved it years ago.
True. Because Area 51, the conspiracy theory on that is it's the decoy one.
So now even conspiracy theories have conspiracy theories?
Yeah, so like Area 51, and it's like, no, everybody knows about it, so there's nothing there now. Like now there's a different one that we don't know about, but Area 51 is just the one that we know, that they're letting us know about. So, but I just think it's funny that after what, like, Roswell and Area 51 was like 50, 60 plus years ago, maybe 100, I don't know. But like
maybe 100 in the 1950s, that was 100 years ago?
I don't know. 1950s was 70 years ago.
Cool.
That's what I was going for. But I just think it's funny that it finally
This is a professional podcast, people.
It finally took this long for our generation to just be like, you know what? Let's just go. Like, what are they going to do? I mean, they'll shoot you or like kill you or arrest you. I don't know. But, Godspeed to whoever goes and report back.
I'm glad that you brought that one because I feel like it feeds very naturally into the fad I wanted to end on.
What's that?
Which is, and I think we're going to bring this full circle, Pokemon Go.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I wasn't allowed to play Pokemon as a kid.
No.
Hey mom, here's another shout out. No, I wasn't allowed to play Pokemon as a kid because I was raised Christian, so that's how that goes.
I was raised Christian and I could play Pokemon. So.
Okay, you had the cool parents.
I'm just saying, like, let's not stereotype and pigeonhole people.
So when this fad came back up, it was kind of lost on me at first. I just was like, all right, cool. I don't care. But
that was like the ultimate nostalgia play.
One of the things I really loved was that I happened to be working on a show that traveled at the time. So we were out a lot, and not only was the crew that I was with playing it, but everyone in the real world was playing it. And I remember I went to Echo Park, and the entire park was just filled with people, tourists, locals, families together, kids on their own, teenagers, young adults, and they were all outside. And they were staring at their phones, but then they were talking to each other, and they were like getting hyped up. And I know there's been more instances. I know my sister, she works at a restaurant in Santa Clarita, and for a hot second, I think there was a Pikachu in her restaurant, and people were just like coming in, just like. And they'd be like, you here for the Pikachu? Like, yes!
It's right there. That's so funny.
And it's funny because, like, a lot of the stories I've heard have been kind of like a little mini eye roll, but it's almost like there's a smile about it.
Yeah, it's cute. And it was like that video that went viral for a second of when there was like a Charizard in Central Park, and it was packed. Like everybody was like, they were like flocking the streets, like bleeding out into the street because there was this Charizard in Central Park and people were going crazy.
To me, that was I remember that was one of the first times. Like I said, I'm not big into conspiracy theories, And I don't take any stock into the films I see. Of course, if someone ever goes, hey, we're going to implant chips into you and then have everything regulated by robots, I'm going to look at them and go, well, that's the plot of a bad movie where robots take over the world. But I generally am not like thinking about the future in terms of like what's good or not. And this was one of the first times I looked at our future and went, this is the good hybrid of what is possible with technology and humanity.
Yeah.
The idea that you can bring people together through technology, bring them outside and have them interact both online and physically.
Yeah.
And there was something so endearing about it. And I knew it was not going to last as long as it did.
Yeah.
Or I knew it was going to end eventually.
Yeah. Because it wasn't going to go forever. Like, the game got repetitive, which is why people stopped playing. Is why I stopped playing. I didn't actually hop on until a little bit later. But yeah, I got super into it. I had a lot of fun. And then it was over. I literally, funny enough, I actually just deleted the app like 3 days ago.
Did you really?
Yeah, because like I had it and I kept like, because I have no memory on my phone. So every time I need to every time I need to get a new app, it's like, oh, delete these apps. And like Pokemon Go is the first one. It's like, get rid of this app. And I'm like, no, one day I'm going to play it again. And then finally 3 days ago, I was just like, I'm not going to play this again. And I just deleted it.
Well, even if it's not Pokemon Go, it's going to be something.
Well, we were discussing a possible Pokemon Go type app. Do you remember
Get me pictures of Spider-Man.
Pictures of Spider-Man.
No, but you had a much better adaptation.
And then I was like, actually, you could expand that and make it a Marvel Go app where it's like you can get pictures or you can see like live events of like the Avengers like saving a city or like some sort of like Avengers
that would
fight
be really
live.
awesome for people living in New York City.
Well, I mean, they would obviously have little ones for like, oh, there's a cat in a tree and Iron Man is saving it,
in
you know?
Idaho?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Or maybe
it's just like you just see Spider-Man standing in the field like, there's no tall buildings.
He's just like,
no tall buildings.
But it's an incredibly, obviously, and it's Disney. They can do whatever the hell they want. But it's an expansive universe, too. There's thousands of superheroes. They could literally have, like, they could assign each superhero an area. And you could literally, like, just watch your neighborhood superhero run around and do random things.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. And you could, like, get points for the pictures you take of them or something. I don't know.
I think what's great,
Disney.
I think what's great is, like, just like with, what was the thing that, was it not Spotify? Napster. Just like with Napster, how Napster, it came and then fell as quickly as it came, but
it became very illegal.
It was very illegal, but it was the precursor to Spotify. So
absolutely.
that years later, we had the subscription service where basically we told the industry, hey, we don't want to pay for albums
There's a demand
anymore.
for this, yeah.
And it took them a lot longer. Obviously, with 9/11 happening, it just like completely expedited all of like technology growth. Now we're deeper into the 21st century where it's just like when we think things, they can become possible quicker.
Yeah.
Which is why, like, you know, Movie Pass fell, but now AMC Stubs has their thing.
Yeah.
And in a few
Movie
years.
Pass still technically exists too.
Ooh, good. And, but there's going to always be like these things, even if they failed, they're going to show that there's a demand. And I think.
And somebody else is going to go figure it out.
And I think there is a way to integrate kind of like that virtual reality, like on the go gaming that's going to bring people together. And I'm very hopeful for that. I think that's going to be a really awesome like future where, you know, we don't have to be afraid of technology. We don't have to be like terrified of it, but we don't need to be consumed by it. And there's got to be a happy medium where it elevates our humanity and complements it rather than consumes it. So.
Yeah, absolutely. That was beautifully put.
I know. It's almost as if I had like done research for this episode.
Almost as if you like knew exactly what you were going to say before you started saying it.
So, guys, that's where we're going to end our episode, but we're not done just yet. We are doing a giveaway.
We're going to do a giveaway, guys. Our first one. This is exciting.
Yes, and where is it?
Oh, it's right here.
Oh, what are you? Did you just
I
push me
got
away?
it.
It's literally the same thing we have on the desk here.
I know. We have an extra mug for one of you guys.
One of you lucky listeners, all you have to do is post your best FaceApp old man / old lady photo, either on Facebook or Instagram, and tag us at Pink Popcast.
Yes.
It also helps if you decide to leave us a rating and a review on iTunes. I know not everyone can do that, so we're not going to hold it to just that, but it does give you a little extra boost. And we're going to pick our favorite picture to give this away to. How's that sound?
Yeah, I like that. And then, so for those of you who are just like listening, by the way, It's our mugs that we always have on the table in our videos, and it says on Wednesdays on one side, we wear pink on the other with our faces on it.
It's an exclusive.
It's an exclusive.
You'd be the only one to have this exact mug.
Besides us, and we could all cheers.
That was the first thing we actually did. I don't know why, but for some reason we both kind of felt adamant that
we needed mugs.
We were like, I get it. We're gonna have to build our equipment. It's not gonna be perfect right off the get go. However,
we will have these mugs.
We will have mugs on the first episode.
Flawless. We bought the mugs before we bought the mics.
That's actually absolutely true.
Yeah.
So now you guys get to partake in that historic moment.
So there you go. So make sure you
we want to see your best FaceApp picture. It's got to do you think it needs to just be them? It can include their friends, but
no, it can be whatever. Just tag at Pink Popcast.
Whatever makes us laugh.
I mean, yeah, if it's a FaceApp of your butt and it looks like an old man, it'll probably win. I don't know how you're gonna do that, but bring it. If you got your dog and you made your dog look like an old man, hey, more power to you.
That sounds amazing.
If your baby all of a sudden looks like the oldest man in time,
God.
Or if you just dress up like an old person,
or if you create a new meme with that. Like take memes that we know and make them old.
Yeah,
maybe that, because I just did that with one. The little girl who's like listening to her sister in the backseat of the car and she's just like giving the face. I did that.
Yeah,
she was hilarious. I was like, I got to use that from now on.
That's so funny. So yeah, FaceApp contest. Winner gets a mug and a little handwritten note from us. A little thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So yeah,
you're welcome. But in the meantime, you can obviously follow Benji and I. I'm just at Josiah J Rizzo.
I'm at Benj Watch, BENJ Watch,
and we together are at Pink Popcast
on Instagram and Facebook.
And you can listen to us wherever you listen to your podcasts: Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud,
and make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube and click the bell for notifications.
Oh, yeah, do that.
Yeah.
So we really thank you guys for obviously tuning in each week. We look forward to many more episodes with y'all. But until then, I'm Josiah J Rizzo.
I'm Benjamin G Jones.
And on Wednesdays, we wear pink.